Yes, it all depends if it red last night.
I know it's Valentine, the morning works look fine. You know the jockeys, brothers are a friend of mine.
Welcome back, everyone, to Handicappers Corner. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through Sunday, April 22nd's card at Hastings. We do have 8 live races, and just to quickly touch on the interview with Doug Scott, I think it's important to note that I love to hear the 5 to 7 year program.
Exactly,
nice
very encouraging.
That everyone, that if there is a game plan to be here in 5 to 7 years in Vancouver racing, and that was good news. That was a lot of. I know there's still some things to sort out. It is a work in progress, as he mentioned, and we'll know a lot more about everything in a couple or 2 to 3 months time. All right, let's get into the Sunday's program. You can start with the first half of the Daily Double for Sunday.
Starting off Sunday, we have a 3.5 or claiming 3,000 older Colts and Geldings going 3.5.
Haven't we seen this movie before?
This race seems awfully familiar. That's because it raced last weekend, and I'm going with.
Just roll the tape again.
Yeah, exactly. Then we might get a winner. I'm going with the horse that won this event last week, Battle of Hastings. He did it pretty impressively. Yep. He's at the 2-hole, which last week he was a little further out. But
I liked him outside.
Yeah, exactly. That's a little bit more advantageous, but he looked like the best horse. Yep. The horse that I got in the second spot is also out of the Jim Brown barn, Distorted Glamour. This is a horse with some back class. Gets Sean Evans the highest percentage rider in Hastings right now. He rode win one last weekend. Absolutely, good for Sean. So I got him in the second spot. And in third, I have Victim of Love out of the Dave Milburn barn, who is a real specialist at this kind of distance. Getting the race under his belt won't hurt him either.
No, I'm gonna just go to the 6-horse Victim of Love just because of the post position switch.
Yeah.
Victim of Love broke reasonably good, but then the pressure came from the outside and he couldn't quite maintain his spot on the rail. He wasn't disgraced. He didn't get beat that badly.
Not at all, no.
He moves outside. I think he can clear, and because he's really fast leaving there, and I just think being on the outside, Battle of Hastings moves to the inside, that maybe not where he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I think that might be enough maybe to turn the tables for these two. And you might get a good price on Victim of Love. Might get 3 to 1, 7 to 2, maybe even 4 to 1.
Absolutely, I think you will.
Because I think you're going to see 2 to 5 on Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, he is going to be.
Well, I'm going to go 6-2, and I put your Distorted Glamour in for third. I've seen him run a lot. He's just not the greatest horse away from the gate. And going 3.5, you got to leave there.
That's going to be a disadvantage.
Your tail on fire. You got to be rolling. But that's why I went 6, 2, and 5. Into the second race, got some 12-5 claimers, fillies and mares. Going to go 6 furlongs in here. I went with a 5-horse Victory with Class. Kind of like her, she's been winter raced. She can go near the lead. She can come from off it. I like that versatility. Whatever way the race shapes up, Richard knows her well. He's back in the tag, so I'm going to try the 5-horse Victory with Class to defeat the 3, the very speedy Lost Prophet out of the Dave Milburn barn. This filly, when she's on her game, or mare, pardon me, is very, very good. She's a horse that can go down there in 16 and change, going 6.5. She only has to go 6 furlongs today. But been working well, and good inside draw. If they leave her alone, she could be the one getting into the winner's circle. I put the 7-horse Lasting Spice in for third. She's a classy filly. She can win at any time. Just maybe 6 furlongs might not be her best trip. That extra half a furlong would have helped her if it was 6.5. So I went 5, 3, and 7 in the South. And tomorrow's second race.
Second race, yes. I got a similarly kind of handicapped as you, except I put Lasting Spice on top. Yeah. She's got a lot of back class. I really like this mare. I think a lot of her. Perez gets the call. He has won on her in the past, a couple years ago. The only time she ran for 12-5 in her life, she ran against the boys. Came back, won for 17-5 last year with Mario on her. I really like this mare. I got Victory with Class in second. Again, we go back to the winter racing, right? She's been running, and she's always been a pretty nice filly herself. And third spot, I got Decarza out of the Greg Tracy barn again. Been running and training at Golden Gate.
You got a lot of stock in that Greg Tracy.
Yeah. I always put a Greg Tracy in there. Just claimed it off Mosier for 16. Yep. 16 Golden Gate is quite a bit tougher than 12-5 at Hastings Park. So I really like Decarza. I originally had her even slotted higher, but got Lasting Spice on top instead.
I wouldn't be surprised to see her run well. I'm just going to watch one with Decarzia, though. But I went 5, 3, and 7, and you're going to head to the 7-horse Lasting Spice.
On to the third race, optional 35 for fillies and mares, going 6 furlongs. In the third, I went with number 3, Notice Her. Again, she's been running back to the same old story. Been running all winter. She was running very good. Yeah, she was running really good at Turf Paradise. Win a couple, came back in the stake, running the very tough jaws and paws. I don't see anybody like that in here.
No.
She is going to get a kind of a perfect. I think she can Fernando can kind of put her where he wants her, and
might get the lead in here.
She might even just get the lead.
On the chooch, and she's gonna be tough from there.
Absolutely. Second spot, I went with Greg Tracy again. Megan's Princess gets Hamill on board. This filly was running seconds in stakes at Northlands last year.
Yep.
She's obviously got some talent. And in the third spot, I went Turlani, another horse that's turning around in a week. She won very impressively last week. Got a decent pace to run at. If that happens in here, you look for her rolling late. She can be tough again.
Yeah, I put her in for third. I just worried about the pace scenario. I just don't see a pile of it in here. But she'll make her presence felt in the stretch. She is up in Class 1 level, but we'll see how she fares. She will need a pace to run at. I agree with you, though. The 3-horse Notice Her, definitely the horse to beat. She doesn't need the lead, but she might even be better on it.
Yeah.
And she's probably going to get to the top in here. I don't see a ton of speed. Burning Britches might be able to lean on her a little bit, or maybe the other Greg Tracy runner, Megan's Princess. But I think Notice Her, pretty solid mare. She doesn't usually run too many bad ones. I know she didn't win a race last year, but you look at the horses she was running against. The Very Sharp Late Affair.
I was looking at that,
Cry, Windstorm, Wando Woman. You go through Caged Mistress and Classic Alley Cat. Like, she was running against some tough mares.
She could not get away from the Troy Taylor barn.
No, she could not. But she got away from them in Phoenix, and she got lucky and got away from them in here too. Because this 35 for the level, I think, has come up pretty soft, and I think she can win it. I put Burning Britches in for second. She runs her A race. She's good enough to romp, and I put Turlani in for third. So I went 3, 4, and 7 in the third. On to the fourth race. We have some maiden 3-granders going 6 furlongs, fillies and mares. I went to another winter race runner, the 3, Majestic Woman.
Yeah.
Might get the trip in behind the 4, LA Superior Court, who's coming in from Golden Gate, also has fitness conditioning. And those are the 2 for me. I think they stand out on paper. They're kind of interchangeable. Maybe take them in a box or key them, or whichever way you want to go, but I like 3 and 4. Majestic Woman over LA Court, and I put the 6 Lasting in for third out of the Tracy McCarthy barn. So not a race that I loved, but I know Majestic Woman's got a pile of starts. Still a maiden, but not usually,
very seasoned.
Don't usually lean on these types, but for victories. But I'm going to try Majestic Woman.
I got the same 3, a little bit different order. I put LA Superior Court on top. Those maiden 8s at Golden Gate are.
They're tough. They
can be very tough. Last year,
speed-wise too, it's tough to make the head end in those races.
Exactly. And she had. So I got her on top. I went with Lasting out of the Tracy McCarthy's barn. Tracy does a very solid job. Knows how to have a horse ready. This horse was run a little bit higher last year. She drops in for 3,000 first start this year. I like her for second, and I have Majestic Woman in for third.
Yeah, we got the same 3, 4, and 6. You went with the 4-horse though, LA Superior Court. Mm-hmm. On to the 5th race. We do have 6 furlongs to be the distance. 17.5 condition claimers here. It's non-words of 2 lifetime or non-words of 3 BC bred.
That's right. You got the clause on there.
Got the clause. There's a BC breds get a bit of an edge. They get another shot to run in a restricted race. I went to the 1 Minstrel's Time. I liked some of the races this horse was running in. Really was quite green in his races early in the year.
Yeah.
Really started to figure it out before, unfortunately, heading to the sidelines in early September. Working well for his return. Richard knows the horse. Was aboard for that win and that good second place run to True Grit. So that was enough for me to lean on Minstrel's Time for the victory.
Horse, yep.
Hopefully he can get out of that number 1 post and get into position, and that'll be the key if he can. I put the 6 Stolen Otis in for second out of the Paddy Leaney barn. Claimed this one for 17.5 last year, and got a couple of good races. That's second behind Mr. Collaborator, who was doing nothing but win races last year. I think he won about 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, he was very solid. Right at that 25, 17.5
last year. This horse is
year.
running second in 16 and change. Unfortunately, that kind of an effort took its toll on him as he was given the rest of the year off, but he's been freshened up. Linked the string of works for the Leaney outfit. Gets Amadeo Perez, who Patty usually calls on for her live
kind of a go-to guy, yeah.
Yep. And so I put Stolen Otis in for second, and I put the 9 Little Brown Guy for third. He's lightly raced. He also showed some ability last year. Might be able to stay close to it. There's not a lot of speed in here. If you look at the race, there's really not a ton of pace.
Yeah.
So whoever does maybe find their way into position and heading into that first turn could win the money.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Minstrel Time, I think, is just the toughest horse in the race, right? He drops in. from that second off True Grit last fall. I got Stolen Notice, very solid horse, like you say. He was running into tough horse last year. Funny face, Mr. Collaborator.
They were all sharp and on their game at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough to run into them kind of horses.
Exactly. And third, I got Silver City Sam, Tack's horse. Again, Tack thought enough of it last year to have it in the sales stakes. He was running higher, ran a couple stakes last year. Now he's in for the 17-5 non-2. I think that'll make him pretty tough.
Yeah, good spot. Might need a little bit more ground, but a horse that works well in the mornings and looks the part and certainly could take advantage of a good inside draw. So we both agree on number 1, Minstrel's Time.
And on to the 6th race, non-winners of the year for fillies and mares. And I have gone to number 9, Line of Vision. Again, winter racing. Yeah, I think she's just the best horse in here. She's got some back class too. She was running higher earlier on in her career. She's won 9 races now. I got to go with Line of Vision. It looks like she's going to be,
There's no speed either. I mean,
exactly.
I can't find a horse to even make her earn the front. She's probably going to get it 23 and change.
Exactly, inherit the lead and going to be very tough to beat from there. Second spot, I got Ice Cap. This is a horse that was running very consistently at the end of the year here last year. Moved around a little bit, got claimed a couple times, ends up with Mark Cluche, a very solid horseman. He knows how to have him ready. She's been working good. Got her in the second spot, and in third spot I went with Zettabyte, another winter race horse out of the Barb Heads barn. Win a couple in Phoenix this year, comes in, fits this condition perfectly because it's non-winners since our first day of the meet. Got Zettabyte in third.
Okay, I went to the 9 as well. Line of Vision looks like perhaps a good key in your pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s, whatever wagers you like to do, exactors tries. But Line of Vision certainly looks good in this spot. Speed, very dangerous. Probably not going to be a big price. Don't recommend betting horses that are even money or last to win, but maybe try and extract a little more money via multi-leg wagers or even the exactors or tries. But I definitely think this horse is going to win. I put the 5 Zettabyte in for second and the 10 Ice Cap. I got the same 3 on in the money. Maybe one to toss in would be the 7 Crafty Sister-in-Law. Pedro Alvarado's been riding a few horses for Rob Maben, and this one's been working well. Some good races last year when back at Hastings. Went to Marquee Downs in Saskatchewan throughout the summer, but this horse ran some good. I don't mind her at all, and she's got some speed, which might be a key in this paceless, which should be a paceless race. So maybe a price horse to throw in there, but we both agree on the 9, Lino Vision. Well, let's move on to our 7th and feature event. This is an allowance event for 3-year-old fillies. It's an optional claimer. You can be in for the 50,000, or if you fit the non-winners, the one other than condition, then you can run protected for no price. I went to the 5-horse Satellite Debris. I see some speed in here. This might be the filly that can come from off the pace, make one run from last maybe, because I do see some a little bit of pace in here. Got some pretty quick ones on the outside that were 3.5 furlong specialists. What a score, and everything's a blur. You got Bold Pretense out of the Great Tracy barn that likes to flash some speed. Undo It's usually close to the pace as his 5-yard penalty. So I just see Satellite Debris and Pedro Alvarado getting a good trip. Kind of like the run that he was second, or she was second in the CD Diamond Future behind Sunnyside Gal. So I like Satellite Debris. I put the 1 5-yard penalty. Pretty impressed with her last 2 runs of the year. When fitted in Blinker, she certainly was a lot more focused and on her game. She won her maiden and then ran second in the fantasy. And the 2 Undo It, who's been pretty solid out of that mare backseat Becca. Undo It was very good last year as well. So I went 5, 1, and 2, but I do like Satellite Debris.
I disagree with you a little bit here. I went to the Greg Tracy horse. I went to Bold Pretense. Another one that just got claimed for 16 out of Golden Gate. Yep. Those are tough races. For 3-year-old filly, she's going to come in here firing. She's already won a couple. I really like. This is I would lean almost that to one of my better bets of the day.
I could have underestimated her. I know it's just a horse that I probably didn't give enough credit to. We'll see how she runs. Take a look at these fillies in the paddock.
Yeah, exactly. I like her. Second spot, I have Everything's a Blur. She's a bit of a question mark. She was very quick last year. Kind of a limited form, only ran once 3.5, but I thought that 3.5 race was really impressive.
Yeah, looked the partner. She's out of a good mare. That What a Blur was a
exactly. A very solid mare.
She could carry her speed. She won going long.
Yeah, exactly. She unfortunately was running against Monashee a lot of her life. In the third spot, I have 5-yard penalty. Again, filly that was really improving near the end of last year, like you said.
Blinkers seemed to be the key. That's all it takes sometimes.
Really woke her up.
It's a little bit of equipment change, blinkers on, blinkers off, or some sort of little subtle change, and
really seemed to focus her. Yeah. So I really like her. Actually, I got her in third spot. So yeah, I'm with the 4, 6, and 1.
Alrighty, I went with the 5, Satellite Debris. On to the 8th and final. This is maiden 5 granders going 6 panels. Not your most Tough, they're probably the tougher ones to bet on because they've been maidens for a while.
Yeah.
And, I've gone to the 2. Not a lot of form to go on in here. The 2 Menza. This one's been running last year. Did have a second. That was good enough for me. I'm going to try Menza to maybe defeat the 1-horse Super U, who comes out of a top outfit. This one would probably, with those works in another outfit, this horse might have been 15-1, but maybe in this spot, this one might be 3-1 or 7-2 because it's not a very tough race.
Don't usually get 18-1 on Troy Taylor.
No, you don't. And I put the 6, Brandon's Courage, named after a very courageous young lad, Brandon, who Wayne Oliver did name the horse. This one's out of the John Snow barn. Ruben Lara rides. Excellent work. Look at that nice final work. A minute and 3/5. Pretty good for this caliber.
You got that right.
So this horse could jump up and maybe win the money, but no solid horse in the finale to get in the get-out race. Hopefully you're in front heading into this one. But I went 2, 1, and 6. Maybe take all 3 of them maybe in the last leg of your pick 3s, 4s, or 5s.
Exactly. I pretty much right on par with you. I like Mensa. Dino thought enough of her last year that, or him, I should say, that he was running, in maiden special weight, then for 20, drops in here for 5, all-time low. He's a little more seasoned than some of the runners in here, so I did go with Mensa. I got super huge, mostly, like you say, because of the connections here. You got Perez, Troy Taylor.
That's all you need.
It's all you need. So I got him in second. And third, I went with Spy Zone, who's been working pretty good. He's got that 101 and 3.
Does have a win, but of course the win doesn't count against them.
It was up country.
In Princeton, those races when there are in BC and in the B circuit races do not count against them for eligibility purposes down here on the coast.
Exactly. So so I have him in the third spot. I went 2-1-5.
All right, there you have it. We both agree on Menza and the 1 Super U. Well, up next on screen will be a complete list of all of our selections. Get your pens and pencils. If you joined in late, we'll recap all of our selections on our Sunday, April 22nd. Here we are.
There's your
I'm
picks,
up
Mike.
first. I got in race number 1. I went to the 6 horse, 6, 2, and 5. In race number 2, I have the 5, 3, and 7. In the third race, I like the 3, 4, and 7. That's the 3 horse Notice Her. In the fourth race, I like the 3, 4, and 6. The 3 is A Majestic Woman. In the fifth race, I like the 1, 6, and 9. The 1 is Minstrel's Time. In the sixth race, I like the 9, 5, and 7. That's Lino Vision, number 9. In the seventh race, I went 5, 1, and 2. A little bit of a price there, maybe with the 5 horse Satellite Debris. And then in the finale, I went 2, 1, and 6. That's the 2 Menza.
And on to my picks. The first race, I went with the 2 Battle of Hastings, who just won last week, with the 5 and 6.
Could be the first 2-time winner.
Exactly. In the second race, I went with the 7 Lasting Spice on top of the 5 and 2. In the third race, I went with number 3 Notice Her. I agree with Mike there, with the 6 and 7. In the fourth race, I went with number 4 LA Superior Court on top of the 6-3. In the fifth race, I agreed with Mike here again. Number 1 Minstrel's Time on top of the 6 and 2. In the sixth race, I went with number 9, Line of Vision, on top of the 10 and 5. In the seventh race, number 4, Bold Pretense, I think looks very tough, on top of the 6 and 1, sorry. And in the eighth race, we agree on number 2, Mensa, and I have it on top of the 1 and 5.
All right, that'll do it for Handicappers Corner for this week. We'd like to thank Doug Scott, who joined us for that special interview. Don't forget, Matt and Dan Jukic, 12:45. More in-depth analysis of today and tomorrow's card. They can be seen 12:45 on the Hastings Racecourse website or right at the track at Hastings Racecourse. We'll look forward to seeing everyone next week. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you all, and good luck.